Hi, Michael Johnson here again. Just wanted to give you a few tips on how to take your dancing to the next level. I've got 5 specific tips I want to share with you, 5 steps, if you would, to take your dancing to that next level. And these are things that athletes would do since the beginning of high-level athletes or even high-level business people. So it's not just about dance, but it's about life. We want to be able to take you to that next level. So we're going to start with the first step, which is straightforward. You've got to imagine what it is you want. This sometimes is the hardest step, but you've got to get in, take some time to yourself, play some music that you love, put your headphones in, and really just sort of zone into that really great place, that thing that you want. You've got to imagine it. You've got to see it. You've got to feel it. You've got to hear it. You've got to imagine it in full effect, and you've got to help yourself become that, but you've got to do it here in your mind. So the next step, step 2, would be to get in and visualize it. You want to create it. You want to make it real. Some people say, I don't visualize well. That's okay. Use your senses. Use your feelings. Imagine it. It doesn't have to be seen perfectly in your mind's eye, but use your mind. And again, you can do it with your favorite music on or in complete silence, whatever works best for you. But you want to go in and really visualize it, see it how it would be if it was done already. And while you're doing that, make sure you're feeling it. Make sure you understand exactly what it feels like inside. Start to create the vibrations that this world needs to be able to suck that to you. Next up, we want to be able to plan it. Planning it is simple. You get in and you plan your days out, one day at a time. However, I highly suggest as dancers that you go in and you plan a whole week at a time. Sometimes we go through and we go, oh, what do you want to do today? Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do today? And we go through these practices where we just don't get much done. We do a lot of, I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? And so then you find a subject and a topic and you find that you're doing something really well and you practice it and you end up binging on that one thing. So maybe you spend a half hour, an hour on one thing because you felt like you almost got it. But what about all the other things you had to practice? What about the exercises? What about all of the extra things that you learned in your last lesson or stuff that you saw from your last video? What do you do about all of that stuff? You don't want to get sucked into one subject, so make sure you plan it well. If you'd like to learn more about planning, we have all sorts of tools that I'd be happy to teach you or talk to you about. Be sure to look me up. We can talk to you about planning and scheduling. I've got some really great systems that have worked wonderful for a lot of the champions that I've trained. But you've got to plan for weeks in advance, right? Or, if you take a whole week, that's the minimum that I would say. Take your whole week, figure out when you have to work, figure out when you have, maybe some of you have classes or in school still, or you have other things that you have to do. Make sure you put that in your schedule and plan it with your partner. That'll make sure that you hone in on really great success. The next step in the process is implementation. And here's what I want to say to you. You want to make sure that you don't do hard work, but you want to make sure you work hard. And this is huge. It's a huge distinction. You want to work hard, but don't make it hard work. You don't have to have hard work to succeed, but you do have to work hard. And there is a difference in that syntax. I want you to think about that for just a little bit and make sure you understand the difference, but it really does make a difference. You've got to be sure to work hard, but don't do hard work. That's a huge difference. Your brain knows it, your body feels it, your soul feels it. So you've got to work hard. You've got to go in and put the time in and really push after something you love. And that's the important part. When you're working hard, you're doing something that you love. You're not just doing something that you were forced to do or that you're dredging through. You don't want to do that. Your brain feels it, your soul feels it, and it really puts and takes a toll on your soul. Last but not least, you want to be able to go in and believe. And this is the hardest part. With all the champions that I've trained, you've got to remember that the first step before anybody else believes it is you have to believe it. And that's a massive part of it. With every champion I've trained, the one thing that I've noticed right before they get their championship, right before, as they approach that championship, we've trained into them that they must believe. You have to believe that you are the champion. And you have to believe it before the rest of the world is going to believe it. Because in many cases, you have a lot of competitors that want to beat you and that want to compete against you, and they're trying to do their best. But you have to believe it first. You have to believe it first. So make sure you take that step, and that's hard. You have to practice at that. You have to do it every day. You have to spend time every day believing and thinking that you can achieve that championship, that you can achieve that major thing that you're trying to attain. These 5 steps will help you. They're just simple overlying topics, but they're going to help you. They're going to make a huge difference, and you just take them. They're really easy. You can do them quickly. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours at it, but just a little bit every day. And like I said before, you just want to take little steps at a time, and pretty soon you'll gain momentum and you'll gain some forward movement. And as you do that, it'll get easier to be able to continue to make progress. And that's what we want. We want to continue to improve every day. If we can do that, then your road to the championship and your path to the championship will actually get easier. And that's what we want. So I hope these 5 steps will help you out in taking your dancing to the next level. And we'll see you soon. Peace out.